Have you ever wanted to introduce yourself in German but just didn't know where to even begin? Well, in the next 5 minutes, that is all going to change. We're going to give you the exact phrases you need to share your name, where you're from, and where you live. Ready? Let's jump right in. So this right here, this is our goal. A simple, confident little conversation. Now I know, looking at it, it might seem like a lot of new words, but it's actually just built from a few simple building blocks, and we're about to break it down piece by piece. You'll see that every single part of a German introduction follows a really simple, repeatable pattern. Seriously, once you see it, you'll be able to use it all over the place. So let's start with the very first piece. First up, the most important part of any intro, your name. And what's cool is that in German, you're not just stuck with one way to say it. You've actually got 3 great options to choose from. Okay, so let's look at these. Your most common option is ich heiße, which literally means I am called. It's your go-to. For something a little simpler, you can just use ich bin, which, as you can probably guess, just means I am. And if you find yourself in a more formal situation, like a business meeting, mein Name ist is absolutely perfect. You can pick whichever one feels right. They all work. All right, your turn. I'm going to ask you, wie heißt du, which means, what's your name? So how would you answer? Go ahead, pick one of the phrases from the last slide and say it out loud with your name. See? You just did it. You're already speaking German. Now let's keep building on that. So you've nailed your name. The next logical step, right, is talking about where you're from. We're going to cover 2 key ideas here, your country of origin and the city you actually live in right now. To say where you come from, the phrase is ich komme aus. Let me say that again. Ich komme aus. So you could say something like ich komme aus England or ich komme aus Spanien. It's a really straightforward pattern. Well, for the most part. And here's that little exception I was talking about. It's a small gotcha. While most countries just use aus and then the name, a few of them need a little extra word. So notice for the USA, it's aus den USA, and for Turkey, it's aus der Türkei. It's a tiny detail, I know, but getting it right makes you sound way more natural. Right, so ich komme aus is all about your origin, your roots. But what if you want to say where you live today? For that, you're going to use ich wohne in. The verb wohnen means to live or to reside. So you can say ich wohne in London or ich wohne in New York. It's as simple as that. Okay, stop for a second. You've just learned 3 complete German sentences. And without even realizing it, you've also stumbled upon one of the most useful grammar patterns in the entire language. Let's call it the ich hat. And here it is, the golden rule. You're going to want to pay close attention to this one. When you talk about yourself using ich, which means I, the verb almost always ends with the letter E. This isn't just a random tip, okay? It's a core pattern in German. And mastering this is going to unlock so much of the language for you. And check this out. You've already seen this in action. Think about the verbs we just learned. It wasn't ich heiß, it was ich heiße. It wasn't ich komm, it was ich komme. And not ich wohne, but ich wohne. Do you see that consistent E at the end of each one? That's the pattern. That's the hack. So, if you remember just one thing from this little grammar lesson, make it this rhyme. If it's ish, add an E. Seriously, that simple phrase is your secret weapon for getting your verbs right pretty much every single time. Okay, deep breath. We've taken the conversation apart, we've learned the phrases, and we've even uncovered a golden grammar rule. Now it's time for the payoff. Let's put all of these pieces back together. Remember this from the beginning? Let's look at this conversation one more time. Ich heiße Sarah. Yep, you know exactly what that means now. Ich komme aus England. Got that one too. And when Tom says, ich wohne in Berlin, you know he means I live in Berlin. See? It's not so complicated anymore, is it? You can understand every single part of this introduction. So, here it is, your personal introduction formula. It's just 3 simple lines. You start with ich heiße and your name, then ich komme aus and your country. Just remember that little exception rule if you need it. And you finish up with ich wohne in and your city. That's it. That is your full German introduction. You've done the work, you've got the tools, now it's time to actually put it into practice. Using the formula we just went over, I want you to introduce yourself. So the question on the screen is for you. Who are you?
Go ahead and write your 3-sentence German introduction in the comments below. Let's see what you've learned.